Hey guys, it's your girl Laura here, just checking in. Today I wanted to talk to you about something that sort of got my attention from last night and this morning on today's morning mindset call about being, broke but not broken. I was listening to Paul Hutchins this morning, and he was talking about having been inspired about a story that he'd heard from another mentor of mine, I have to say, Franco Gonzalez. We had a call last night to sort of speak to those about the Empower Network and what great things it's done for a lot of the leaders. And he started talking about where he'd come from and how his mom was a single mom, and she was the only one taking care of everybody, obviously, trying to put food on the table, taking on a second job. And he watched all this, and he said his spirit throughout the whole time, although they were broke, their spirit wasn't broken. They kept moving forward, and I think that's what it propels him to do as well as he's done today and continues to do as well as he's doing today. As Paul Hutchins was conveying the story, he related back to his childhood and his mom having been a single parent mom. And his upbringing was such that his mom also struggled. His situation was a slightly different in the fact that his mom was faced with an additional challenge of being deaf, and any messages that were translated over the phone had to be done through him. And at the time, he was only like 7 years old or so. So one morning or one day, he was picking up the phone, and after having, found out that his father had left to go and be a manager at some hotel, if I remember correctly, he'd picked up the phone, and his mom had asked him, call daddy to ask him about whatever it was she was calling about. And he called up the hotel, and he asked to speak to the manager, and the manager the response was, oh, you mean you want to speak to Kim, which was obviously another woman. And found out down the line this was a woman that his father had been, had left the family for, and he was highly disappointed, obviously. And it he watched as his mom was struggling, and he was wondering, should I tell her this? And like, he was faced with a dilemma, obviously, at 7 years old, having to face this kind of dilemma, being the only vehicle to communicate between the mom and the dad at this point. So what he did was, he said he found her one day just crunched up and in the laundry room, I believe it was, and she was just bawling her eyes out. And she asked her. He said, "Mommy, what's wrong?" And she said, "Paul, this is so hard. This is so hard. I don't know if I can do this." And she was thinking about taking her own life. And he persuaded her otherwise. He said, "Mommy, no, you can't do that. We need you. Me and my sister need you. We need you, and you can't do that." So in the end, she was forced to sort of found the strength to pursue and move forward. And she went on to get another job. She even educated herself, and things are better. And they got better over time. And while he was conveying the story, it hit home because he was crying, and it sort of, struck a nerve with me, because I'm a single mom, and I often am faced with a lot of challenges in that, you're trying to be everything to everybody and to your kids, especially. And you don't want to break those promises of yes, you're going to have your sweet 16, or and or just, it could be anything, and or paying the rent, or and I think of these things, and I think of these challenges that I faced. And I appreciate why I'm doing what I'm doing, because these kind of stories propel me and confirming that I'm on the right path and I need not steer otherwise and stay focused on what you know I need to do. So the story is really about, if even though you're broke, you don't have to be broken. And if you can just take something from one story, and we heard so many stories, but if you can just take something from that one story to know that somebody else is worse off than you or has been worse off than you and they still excelled in the end, then it should be smooth sailing for you. It gives you the desire to want to go on and continue and pursue what you want to pursue. And with that being said, guys, that's all I have for today. If you want more stories, please click the link below, and I'll see you on the next video.